Yellow Sea, the best example of an epicontinental seabed found on Earth. Since the last glacial maximum, part of the land, which was once a continental boundary, has been submerged because of rising sea levels and has become a shallow sea. The area has changed into a vast continental shelf, being located along the Pacific Ocean's Ring of Fire, an area with an abundance of volcanic activity and earthquakes. As a result of rising sea levels, thousands of islands have been created along the southwest coast of Korea, an area with a high concentration of tall mountains along the Yellow Sea. Most of Korea's major rivers run to the southwestern coast, supplying an abundance of sediments from the lands they flow through. This area has large tidal ranges of up to 10 meters. Rapid tidal currents due to macrotidal ranges have created complex channels between numerous rocky islands. With a tide which flows in and out every 6 hours, terrigenous sediments accumulate to form various tidal flat landforms. The tidal flats of Korea, of which inscription on the UNESCO World Heritage List is underway, are comprised of the Socheon, Gochang, Sinan, and Boseong Getbols. Renowned for its beautiful landscape and variety of species, the Boseong Getbol is a semi-enclosed type of tidal flat lying at the inner part of Yeojaman Bay. Suspended sediments supplied from the Geumgang River ultimately reach and settle in this area. Tidal currents running counterclockwise deposit sediment around the islands surrounding Jangdo Island, resulting in the formation of this broad tidal flat. Located far from the Geumgang River, the source of the sediments, the Boseong Getbol as a result has a low supply rate of sediments. For this reason, relatively shallow sediment layers have been formed around the islands so that the islands remain mostly unfettered by sedimentary buildup. Therefore, this area shows a typically prematured tidal flat landform. The nominated area of the Boseong Getbol is 3,185 hectares in size, and as such makes up approximately 53% of the Boseong Getbol, which covers a total of 5,985 hectares. The setup of the nominated area has been considered in light of its tidal sediments formed by tidal currents and organisms which inhabit this area. The buffer zone for the protection of the nominated area covers 1,199 hectares, encompassing the outer parts of the nominated area along with inhabited islands. The Boseong Getbol, which is the farthest of the nominated areas from the Geumgang River, is where the smallest particles of the suspended sediments from the Geumgang River settle. For this reason, this area has mudflats which consist of the finest sediment among the 4 components of the nominated area. The Boseong Getbol area centered on Jangdo Island shows a relatively lower geodiversity than that of the other components, since sandflats have only experienced minimal development. Nonetheless, major tidal flat features such as mudflats, salt marshes, and rocky substrates can also be found in the Boseong Getbol. Notably, the tidal flat formed across Jangdo Island is an excellent representative example of ecosystem connectivity between mudflats and rocky substrates. The mudflats found here are the major habitat of polychaetes, Japanese mud crabs, and cockles. These species help maintain the good health of these tidal flats by supplying them with oxygen from the seawater through their feeding and burrowing activities. The broad salt marsh, where reeds and seepweeds live as the dominant species, provides refuge for tidal flat organisms to hide from predators and also serves as their habitat. Supporting 188 benthic diatom species, 23 marine algae species, 445 macrobenthos species, and 99 waterbird species, the Boseong Getbol exhibits incredible biodiversity. What makes this tidal flat area more significant is that marine organisms subject to protection, such as red mitten sesarmid and crabs, along with Chinese Midas ear snails, also inhabit the area. Residents and authorities in this area are working toward achieving coexistence with the tidal flats through limiting human development, along with installing seawater circulation seawalls and floating quays. The traditional cockle fishing method using a wooden board called a bolpe in Korean is an excellent example of wise use harmonizing with nature. Conserving the Boseong Getbol, where the natural ecosystem remains intact, and transmitting natural resources to future generations. It is the responsibility and duty of us all